It is an opportunity for the ultimate revenge for BDS. After dominating last season, they lost the European Championships to an on-form Vitality. But after a poor first tournament from them, Greg, and it's Vitality who finally have got their own destiny back in their hands. Unfortunately, they are up against, well, their biggest rivals in the entire region.
Yeah, this is the rivalry we all wanted to see every single event in RLCS X, and it finished, like you said, with a bang. Vitality finally getting their revenge on BDS after so long being the team that would tend to lose. But today is a really important one for them. This is to try and clench that spot for LAN. Vitality need to win this to guarantee their spot at the full major, and I'm sure that'll really fire them up today to get the best out of them.
Yep. For us over here, it's quite simple. If Vitality win, they are in. If they lose, then they're not out just yet, as that one's going to go off the post, and here comes Monkey Moon. 1-0, not the start that Vitality would have wanted to see.
A little bit of scrappy defense here from Vitality, but Extra staying grounded there, playing the beater on the keeper, blocking their way towards the ball and opening up a space for Monkey Moon to clean up on the goal line. A great start for BDS here. Nice, simple Rocket League, and that's going to work.
Where I was as well is that if Vitality do end up losing this, they're not out yet. Semper would still be the only team above them, but if EG were to win the next round, then it would be them gone. Alpha looking to try and just play his way out. He's not going to get any challenge for quite some time. 12 players knowing better than to instantly dive in on Alpha as Monkey Moon already up. He's got time, he's got space, he's got Fairy Peak trying to get over to him. It's a little bit of territory gained. Expect to see that a lot from BDS today.
Yeah, I think the one to watch out for really is Monkey Moon. When he gets given a bit of space, he has the ability to break down a full team. We always see Mark by 8 trying to get that ball back to his teammates through being a little bit of a nuisance upfield. But I think Vitality's biggest threat will be that mechanics from Monkey Moon.
Yeah, Mark Bay, very much the pace setter of every game that he's in. He will either dive in if he knows his team's got the boost advantage. He'll keep it slow if he knows that he needs his team to reset right now. Oh, off the crossbar, the follow-up from Monkey Moon just to try and set up one more time. No follow-up from BDS. An opportunity for Fairy Peak. He doesn't want to go straight there for it. Awkward bet between both teams, but so far it's going very well for BDS. None of the teams that have been up against qualification have really been able to perform today. We saw Carmine kind of roll over, knowing that they needed to get the win earlier on Gregan. BDS are a team that are happily not under pressure. Vitality, on the other hand, very much are. But you've been with these players before when they needed that one big result where it was between relegation tournament and potential to go over to Madrid. And this is the sort of players that you would expect to see big things from.
Yeah, I mean, they've got so many years of experience. I mean, just on this pitch, we've got the players who've been in the most finals of any Rocket League team. I mean, what's about average of about 9 or 10 across the board here. These players are used to playing in high pressure environments. And so actually with this kind of quality, you expect them to step up in the pressure moments. You expect them to bring out their best performance when it really matters. And that's the big difference between a team like Vitality when they need to qualify. And, you know, the teams like Queso, you know, that was a massive game for them. Probably one of the biggest games they've ever played. As we see BDS putting a load of pressure on the goal line there, Extra hitting into the crossbar, tipping it back in the middle for Mark by 8. He's got a lot of space here and not a lot of threat from Vitality, but they do just wait patiently and start the counter-attack.
It's been a very hands-off midfield battle from both the teams. Happy just to allow the offense to happen, would rather have 3 players back. Now off the backboard, Alpha quite easily wins the race to it, but he doesn't win the block. Monkey Moon very dominant across the field at the moment. Off the wall. Again, far too quick. Monkey Moon really letting everyone on the server know that he will be the talisman across both teams. You see the boom and clear from Alpha. Monkey Moon back to his own teammate over in the corner. Great communication between them, and Extra's demo ruins the defensive rotation. Means midfield is no longer an option for Vitality. 1.5 minutes left here, and BDS have settled into a tempo, and Vitality still to really find their big first opportunity.
Yeah, the few times I've seen Vitality in space with good possession, they've needed to prioritize boost because they're just so low as a team. The amount of times we've seen them on 0, pressuring the ball and not able to do what they want to do. So I think they really need to think about conserving that boost for those moments, because that's when they're going to get counterattacks. That's when they're going to be able to take multiple players out of the game. And right now, BDS just look comfortable backing off and resetting the game back to neutral.
You can already see the multitude of demos attempted and succeeded with from BDS. They know that that boost advantage is theirs. They also know that nobody's back at the moment. Didn't quite set up for the shots.
Oh, this is
a little
chance.
bit of a surprise, and this actually might be more of a surprise. BDS get themselves tangled up in the midfield, and they've given up the first goal-scoring opportunity that Vitality have had.
That fake from Monkey Moon was so genius, but too good. It faked out his teammate Extra as Extra was pushing in to clean up after that fake, and he took himself out of the game. Monkey Moon and Extra getting confused in the midfield opens up the free shot for Fairy Peak. That's the easiest goal he's going to get today, as we see a 1-1 scoreline, and that could be the kind of thing Vitality need to win this series. They're relying quite heavily on mistakes from BDS. BDS! They counter back as Mark comes in, finds a small window, and takes the shot opportunity again. We've seen so much of this from Extra. The grounded nuisance play in the box clears out, cleaned up by a teammate.
BDS have fully looked towards Extra, just going forward and smashing any orange car that he gets a chance to find. Kalop, though, gets a bit of time. Monkey Moon was playing a little bit of possum there, daring him to move on forward, at least get somebody out of the rotation. Here's Mark by 8, another great challenge. He's on 0 boost. It doesn't matter to him, and he's going to allow Monkey Moon to move on in. BDS playing the clock very well. They made one massive mistake. They also almost gifted a goal immediately after the fact. Nobody available to run onto that shot, so Kalop just tries to keep it away from the pouring hands of Team BDS. Maybe the last chance here. Alpha tries to go low. Fairy Peak with Kalop up in support. How's he going to get it over to him, though? It's off the backboard. Monkey Moon looks for it. Bounces to the far side. Cut ball cannot hit the floor any longer. Or this will be game number 1 for BDS. Off the backboard one more time. Kalop can't run onto the shot. They're just desperately trying to find any way of setting themselves up for a goal-scoring chance. BDS, they got the 0-second goal yesterday. Will they concede one this time?
Alpha in space. Someone to clean up. Oh, Kalop just a bit too deep there, but the way they're keeping this ball up is fantastic.
It's done. Oh,
it's done.
Wow.
So when you saw Alpha in space there with 0 seconds and 100 boost, you know, there is every possibility that he can take every player out of the game. What he did is exactly that. Kalop just wasn't quite able to beat Monkey Moon to that final touch, but superb work from Alpha at the end there, and we'll see him hot up as the series goes on, but a clinical performance from BDS, a very typical performance from BDS as we see them dominate the first game.
And BDS have always been the team that have kind of shut down Alpha the best. Every single time we've seen him come into this, I feel like we see like a different play style from Alpha every time because he's not quite figured them out. I remember midway through last season, it was maybe the most tame Alpha performance we've ever seen because he was just looking for the long ball. It was no individual brilliance from Alpha whatsoever. So we're going to need Alpha to kind of figure out his positioning here. This is a good start for him, but at the same time, a lot of the goals we saw getting scored here were a little bit sloppy from both sides. So they are going to need to get that sorted. They're going to need to clean it up. And most importantly here, if you're out there, if you caught Evil Geniuses or you caught Semper, you're pretty happy that BDS have got game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of mistakes in that first game led to the goal-scoring opportunities, but I think really Extra was the star player in that first one with 2 great goals set up by him on the ground, taking out one player, drawing in a second, and then following through with his car to bump the final opportunity. Alpha not quite clinical on that finish, but the pressure it forms, it's not just about the score opportunity that Alpha can have, it's about the taking players out of the game and potentially setting up a teammate to clean up, and that's the thing to watch out for him, but BDS just don't present many opportunities to come in and clean up after him.
So far side, Extra knows he's got time, but he also knows that he's not got any boost. That one not willing to pop up for him. Back into the midfield, Mark pops it back to Monkey Moon. Can't quite get it back to the net. BDS have been, if only slightly, the stronger team. They've seen more of the net. One goal that we did get from Vitality was from BDS. Well, faking themselves. Congratulations on that one, Monkey Moon. He's bored of 1v3. He decided to 1v5. Good challenge, far corner. A chance to boost up here for Vitality.
Yeah, you can see the boost meters of all of BDS. Just Extra there getting a boost, marked by 8 now, and they've got themselves out of that situation. And I think boost is such an important part of these two's battles because they're also strong in the challenge game. So if they've got the ability to fly up to a ball, they can pretty much always block any opportunity that comes their way. But the moment they are low on boost, their options are so limited. And that's when you start to see one team really control the field and keep the ball in the other team's half.
Oh, that's a very high up attempt for a double tap, but that's kind of where you got to go these days. Keep it anywhere near the net and somebody will get contact. Monkey Moon for the backboard. See even more bump attempts. Expect Extra to keep that one going. It wasn't him on target this time around. But it's him tasked with taking the ball back to the midfield, and he's done that excellently. Monkey Moon takes back over with Extra still in support. Attempting a clear from Fairy Peak. That will go as far as the midfield. Alpha, what's he got? Just trying to force the challenge. He still does well with it. Monkey Moon with 0 boost. Couldn't quite get enough purchase on the shot. And that's way over the head of Mark.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of neutral gameplay here. Neither team taking major risks, and it's often the way with BDS these days. They're very smart at not overcommitting, but it can be their detriment times because they leave the opportunity for the opposition to pounce on them. And right here, the tiniest of mistakes in the challenge there from Mark opened up a chance for Fairy Peak to beat Monkey Moon to the ball, and that's incredible speed there from Fairy Peak.
Yeah, Fairy's positioning aggressively. Usually, we've seen him sit quite a bit deeper against BDS. This time around, we've seen a more mechanical, a more aggressive Fairy Peak in this tournament than we have up to this point. Monkey Moon 0 boost, can't go and meet that ball. Vitality, all they got to do is hold on to this for another 2.5 minutes. And they will at least get us back to a tied up series. Firewall, Extra looks to turn. He's misread it. Follow up from Alpha. He's, well, at least covered by Monkey Moon. Extra will certainly go him for at least making sure that mistake didn't result in anything extra. Back down, K-Dop looks for the set. Extra should be there just in time, but he's lost the challenge. Fairy Peak, he's quite close though. Going to buy a little bit of time. Didn't find a goal scoring opportunity.
Yeah, that's a very fair point there. What we'll notice with Vitality is they do play very close to the play. And in certain situations, it means they're unbeatable to the ball, right? Like they are closer to the ball than any other player on the pitch. But it can mean they find themselves in those awkward positions underneath the ball, so they can't really get the touch they want. So it's a tough payoff.
It's one of those ones where you either right or wrong. And when you get it wrong, it's very easy to sit and just go, oh, we'll just sit further back, be ready for the shot next time. And then you get the goal that we saw Fairy score. Oh, wait, off the bump! And somehow Alpha, through the smoke screen, I don't know what he's done to be able to see that one coming. I don't know if that was reflexes. I don't know if that was just excellent positioning. But now we go to the other side of the field. Monkey Moon this time does have enough boost, which has been at a premium for him. That's how quick this has been. And that sort of seems to be the theme of this match, Greg. And it's just a grinding battle across the field, followed up by one big moment either side.
Yeah, it's been a right grind of a game. Neither team making multiple opportunities in a row. But this could be the one. Oh, the bump. Again, they're trying to take Alpha out of the goal line. And Vitality play very deep on their goal line when they're defending. So that running bump is very important to open up opportunities. But both times there, Alpha's managed to avoid the bump and make the save. So the right ideas here from BDS, just not quite executing.
Maybe another opportunity. Mark by 8, second chance. He will not need a third. What each? And Vitality fans, I know when you looked at this matchup, you knew it wasn't going to be easy. There's your confirmation.
Just the counter-attack there from BDS. Mark by 8 with a fantastic catch and solo play. Alpha not quite ready for that one, positioned all wrong. And Mark by 8 had the guaranteed goal as long as he got the flick off, which he did. And I think this is something you've always got to be careful of when you start getting through these grindy games, that you don't start pushing the limits. And Vitality there caught very far up, leaving Alpha alone at the back. And BDS punished so fast on the counter-attack. And now we're going to be seeing what is a likely overtime game, as both these teams have not really shown many opportunities. So it's going to be the one that takes that big moment.
This is
can't tell who it's going to be, really. This is so close either way.
There's more pressure on Vitality. They lose this one. It's already 2-0. About how quickly Rocket League can go against you. So, overtime on the way. Vitality, they're already at the point where these are so important. A great challenge from K-Dop. He's got Fairy Peak up in support. Does not dive in on it. Realized the opportunity was getting away from him. Alpha still daring anybody to come forward. He just can't quite set up the 50 the way you would like to. Another big demo. Infield pass to Monkey Moon. And Alpha pre-jumps, keeps it away. Still pressure on. Looking for the backboard double tap. Mark by 8 will not get a chance to turn that one into the back of the net. So Vitality proved themselves defensively. Now they've got to find the offense, and they've got to find themselves a little bit of boost. Alpha ends up leaving it, but that's going to drop down dangerously. Ends up missing it. Up goes Extra. Up goes Monkey Moon. There was an attempt on the demo on the goalkeeper as well. BDS couldn't get the communication sorted out quick enough.
They seem so scared on their goal line right now. Vitality are leaving it to the final moments to try and predict their saves, which is always a risk. As we saw, Mark by 8 found a way around it. The bumps have almost found a way around it. They really need to be meeting these balls earlier to stop them getting onto the back line. BDS just dominating the midfield, getting into Vitality's box and having a few goes. We just need to see a little bit more aggression from Vitality in the midfield. I mean, just there, K-Dop tried to do it, but he's getting beaten to it by BDS.
It's a great play style, I think, for Vitality against almost anybody else. The only teams I wouldn't want to see them do this against is Dignitas and against BDS. Because I think these are both teams that have got stronger challenge games. When you're leaving it that late, when you're on the goal line, where a challenge loss is not, oh, we lose possession, it's, oh, that ball's in the back of my net. That's when it gets really dangerous. The first time, though, we do see the blue side of the field. Again, the challenge won, and immediately followed up by Monkey Moon, who tries to put the ball at least on target. Is slightly off. Mark Bay does not want to see the pinch happen whatsoever. But Alpha, he's put it underneath Monkey Moon. Look how quick he reads this game every single time. Whenever you get a slight hope for a Vitality to escape, Monkey Moon is right there controlling the pace of the game.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier on how Alpha's the kind of player who normally dominates in every game, but against BDS, he just struggles. And it's moments like that. That touch was fantastic. It took 2 players out the game, but the third from BDS able to clean it up and turn it right back into pressure. You can't outplay 3 players on BDS very easy, and that's where Alpha normally shines as the 1v3 master.
And the BDS are very good at is recognizing that the midfield is gone. And you see a lot of, I don't necessarily want to call it ego, but reluctance from teams to allow themselves to retreat into their inside the field. BDS are very good at recognizing that the play is out, move some players forward just to get moving. Here's Mark by 8, ends up missing it. Can't tell if he was bumped. Alpha now have a chance, 14 boost, and this is the horrid bit. Alpha would love it if Extra went and met him a little bit earlier on the challenge. But because the Extra is so patient, it becomes so much more difficult. Oh, okay. Please tell me that was intentional. In fact, please don't tell me that was intentional. That was dangerous.
Yeah, doinked safety on the goal line. You don't often see those, but that was definitely off the back of an Extra mistake. Monkey Moon had to make a very tough decision there. He chose correctly there. We were just complimenting Extra on his ability to take the pressure out of the game in defense. But little mistakes like that can really throw off your teammates. If they put a lot of pressure on you to make solo defensive plays and then you don't make them, that's the difference between a goal and not, you know? So that they really need to be aware that Extra, yes, he's great. Yes, he will solo defend, but he can't do it every time.
3.5 minutes of overtime played. The situation has not changed for Vitality. They will be desperate for this goal. Maybe an opportunity to get it 2 players, or pretty much in the exact same spot from BDS. Until if that's too much chemistry or not quite enough in that scenario. It's Fairy Peak. Takes his time, sees Extra coming for him. It was kind of half-hearted, actually, and Extra stopped moving for just a second. Thankfully, he is back up and running again. Monkey Moon to the wall. K-Dop got a chance just to put it as far away as possible. That was a very lame touch from him. Needed that to go much further than it did. This has put his team back under pressure. This is where mistakes like that cost your team boost, cost your team position, and might cost them overtime, but there's the opportunity now. Fairy Peak. Test the boost of Extra, and Extra's got more than enough.
Yeah, we're seeing Fairy Peak be quite the dominant offensive force in this tournament so far. He's been the player they've needed. Something Vitality often struggle with is who's going to be the one who steps up if Alpha's not there, and that's been Fairy Peak this tournament. But they always look their best when all 3 of them are firing. You know, K-Dop's involved in the offense, Alpha's creating goals and opportunities, and they're all working together fantastically. This is a team that relies on teamwork, and right now I can only really see Fairy Peak being in with a chance of scoring. Otherwise, they're relying on mistakes, which is not sustainable in a best of 7.
5 minutes of overtime played. Still nobody with a goal just yet. Here's Fairy Peak with the chance. Coming in from the off angle, always going to be very difficult, not only to put the ball behind everybody. And I've got bad news, by the way. I don't know if I'm still live. My computer's just gone down. So, Greg, if you can still hear me, I've just caused the biggest nightmare for you ever.
Wow, I assume...
I cannot see a thing. I will be back as quickly as I can.
That's all right. I mean, right now we are seeing this overtime continue. Pretty neutral game. It's Fairy Peak trying to counterattack here. K-Dop up. A little bit of disruption on the goal line. Shot a bit too low from Alpha as Mark by 8 saves it away without jumping. And that was a Great opportunity for Vitality that I think Alpha really needs to be scoring those. That was an opportunity most top players would expect to hit, but in these pressure moments, you go for the safe option. In these high pressure moments in 5 minutes into an overtime, you just make sure it's on target. You don't think to put it top corner or just below the crossbar. Right now, Alpha wasting a bit of time, giving it up to K-Dot. This ball is going to fall into the hands of Extra, being very patient there. Neither his teammates far back, so he needs them to retreat. We see a great challenge from Mark, he's going to put it back into the box. Alpha patiently on the goal line. Always risky to try and take it past Monkey Moon in front of your goal line. And right now, it does seem like BDS are keeping Vitality on the back foot, but nothing has resulted in a shot opportunity so far. It's in control for Vitality, but not in the right place in the pitch. You want this to be further upfield, because all it takes is one little touch, one little mistake, one missed boost grab, and that's an opportunity for BDS. As we venture further into overtime here, I think it's safe to say this game is going to be going a long way. We are going to be seeing a long best of 7 here, because both these teams evenly matched. The first game, it was a 2-1. We're now here in game 2 with over a game's length of overtime. I see K-Dot here, a little bit far up. No teammate behind him. Alpha comes across from the right side. He's now got a bit of control. A little bit rushed there. Not looking in control. Very Peak manages to put it middle. Again, BDS, very rarely threatened after the first man's beaten. Always someone there to cover. Ball middle. Very Peak up. Controlled for Mark by 8. Ball's going to go central, but Ferry Peak's not quite there on the right timing, so Monkey Moon clears away. But it does go straight back to Vitality possession. Strong challenge game from both teams here. Ferry Peak being extra to the ball. This is going to be a chance here. Alpha shot, blocked by Monkey Moon. Chance to put it back in for K-Dot. Tie in the middle. Mark given far too much space there. Able to send it away, and not only send it away, but onto the nose of Extra, who tips it right into the far corner, Vitality's half. Scramble on the goal line. Ferry Peak getting it away, and now we're going to see a little bit of a lull as Vitality take control of the ball back into BDS half. BDS retreated all in the same corner. And we are... Hello. Right, we shall see the ball drop down to the right. Alpha waiting behind as K-Dot clears it away, but that's a 0 boost clear. Now K-Dot's going to take a long time to recover. Alpha is left alone. He gets bumped. Monkey Moon shoots, and they score at 8:45 in the overtime of game 2. BDS now 2 games up in this best of 7 series, the quarterfinal of the EU Grand Prix. And we're going to be seeing a timeout, I believe, here on Vitality.
Man, I feel like you're the real winner here, Greg, and what a debut, right?
What a debut.
On your first cast. Good job there. I'm sitting waiting to join when this lobby finally finishes, but man, this is rough for Vitality. This is a must-win for them, like you've already mentioned, but this is going to be very, very difficult to come back from 2 down against BDS.
Yeah, 100%. And that whole series, we saw the ball stay in Vitality's half far longer than they really wanted it to. You can see the score line there. Only 1 goal either way. But the fact that Alpha has that many points, that many shots, and none of them were leading to quality goal score opportunities, I think that they're not trying the right things here. They're very much committing and then having to retreat. You know, they haven't got any kind of sustainability to their offense. They're not opening up those opportunities.
Yeah, and they've had some success with timeouts in the past, so they are, more than capable and I'm sure willing to make a playstyle change here. But from what I've seen this weekend, it might just come down to trying to bring the most out of Alpha 54, because K-Dot and Ferry Peak have had their good moments, but they've also had their moments where they just really don't look like they are performing at their best right now. So they might just let Alpha run riot here. I've seen them do it before. I don't know. It's a really tough one. Obviously, I'm sure everybody's thinking BDS are just going to run away with this now.
Yeah, I mean, we see their Vitality were at the Stade de France facilities. Last time we saw them there against BDS, it was a very different story. We were seeing a very different Vitality dominating BDS. And in the history of this matchup, it's gone in favor of BDS around 70% of the time. This is much more in favor of BDS. So that is the expected result, but it's in those higher pressure moments we expect Vitality to step up. And that's what they need to do right now, as they have got a very big disadvantage here.
Yeah, of course, the problem is we have seen BDS have their moments this season, and of course in the RLCS Championships where they didn't produce their very best, but that's when they were under pressure as well. Now the pressure's off them. They don't need this as much as Vitality do, so that's just another reason I think that BDS are probably going to be too consistent from this point on. But it's Vitality called the timeout. BDS are not often a team to call timeout, so I don't know if they're going to be the team to use that time effectively. But must-win game though for Vitality here if they're going to stay in the run.
Yeah, I think one thing we can always say about BDS's playstyle is it's reliable. They play the same way, they do it consistently, and when there's no pressure, that's something that you'd expect out of a reliable playstyle. What we said earlier, they find it very easy to break down those solo plays from a player like Alpha, because they line up 1, 2, 3, and they're so hard to beat one after the other. And we'll see if that happens here in Game 3. Vitality have their timeout. Will they bounce back and show a little bit more danger in offense and find a way to break down this BDS team?
Monkey Moon already threatening, and BDS are always going to be quick in that second man position near post. Every time the ball centers, they're not a team who are afraid to attack it, and with this advantage, they are just going to double down on this. So we've got to keep an eye on those near post attacks. There it is, well intercepted by K-Dub.
Yeah, we've seen this goal line scramble for Vitality for the last 3-4 years. They've always defended very deep compared to most teams and frequently double and triple commit on the goal line. And there's times where that's the right thing to do. You have to make that save, so you have to throw yourself at it, but it does grind down your resources. And that's why we see them often so low on boost in defense, as they have managed to pick up some boost, so they'll find their way out here. K-Dot, the only one low on boost, he'll get a chance to go grab some now, as they are on the counter, but there's just no real threat on it, as you see BDS reformulate in defense so well to find a way to cut out any kind of threat.
Yeah, the composure is there. We're seeing a few touches here from BDS that are not really aimed at anyone in particular, but Vitality sitting so far back, they're not able to pounce on any of them. And BDS do look comfortable in defense. Nice interception there by Extra. Alpha not able to get the beat to his man. It looks like Extra's just a little bit low on booster, so he couldn't get an effective touch forward. But on the transition, BDS look pretty scary at the moment. Vitality need to start intercepting these passes, intercepting these touches in the midfield, or they're just going to be on the back foot, much like we've seen them for much of this series already.
Yeah, I think one thing to note about Alpha is that star player compared to a lot of the other star players we're seeing come through, like your Seikos, like how Joriez works, and I guess how Monkey Moon, who's probably the star player we've all grown and loved over the RLCS season. Alpha tends to be very rushed in his approach. He comes in very fast. He likes to do it before the opponent is ready. And when you're against a team like BDS, they're used to that. They take out the sting of that play very quickly. And so you see Alpha rushed, doing a load of play, and nobody's there to meet it.
Oh!
Great save from Alpha on the goal line. He's going to keep himself in defense, and that's been his main role in this team today, has been to make the saves. He's not been showing himself in offense, but he made 8 saves in the last game, and he continues to do more in this one.
Yeah, really crucial stop there. K-Dop didn't get the best clearing touch. Extra sent a shot on target from it. That's pretty much the first rule of a clear ball, is don't let an immediate shot follow up from the other team. Here's K-Dop again. He's going to be able to control this one. Marked by 8, landing flat on his wheels, as he always does after challenging in the back corners. He's so quick with the recoveries every single time, prioritizing that. That's why he's able to be so aggressive over and over again, constantly turning and surprising opponents by coming from the blind spot. And Monkey Moon needs to be challenged here. Alpha will get in his way, and that's a very good 50 by Alpha, sending it to the back corner. No danger for Vitality.
Yeah, not just sending it to the back corner, but maintaining a lot of boost, so he's able to get involved in the counter-attack, stay in a strong position in midfield and retake that ball. But again, we see there the rushed attempts from Alfie. See how he jumps off the wall there? That's going to put him in a vulnerable position as soon as the BDS players get a read on his play. And we need to see him take a bit more time up here, make a bit more of an effective play on the ball rather than rushing, because BDS are beating Vitality in the midfield frequently here, whether it be through fake challenges, just letting the ball fly, or coming up and meeting them early. I think that's going to be the main differentiator here for Vitality. They need to work on their challenge game. They need to work on their midfield game to gain control of this ball so they can start putting threatening opportunities on, because nothing yet is threatening this BDS defense.
Yeah, and to be fair to Vitality as well, they've only allowed one shot. It was that one shot where K-Dot didn't get a good clear into the corner, and it maybe should have been a better shot from Extra, but BDS haven't really had that many chances, despite the control that they've got in the midfield and how comfortable they look in this matchup. Vitality now. The big chance off the backboard, marked by 8, doesn't get a good contact. Alpha scores inside the final minute. Vitality have not had many chances, but they've taken one.
Fantastic challenge there from Alpha, popping the ball up middle, and Vitality placed so close together. So Fairy Peak was first to that next ball, sends it backboard, and BDS were caught low on boost. No one able to meet it, and a great punishment there from Vitality. And as we speak about it, that midfield game is so strong for BDS, but that one moment there, a good 50-50 can make a massive difference here. Now BDS, frequently once they go down, like to bounce back and find a way to score, but they've not shown any offensive presence in this game. So they're gonna have to really step it up here, find a new way of approaching Vitality's defense as Extra onto the side, not really in control of that ball there. Mark by 8, rush challenge in, spills it out for Monkey Moon, as they don't really seem to have much control of this ball as they're popping it around. Vitality playing a little bit of tennis, sending it straight back, making sure no one has time on the ball. As Monkey Moon again, not able to take his time on that ball, but this is dangerous. Mark by 8 puts it in. Extra here with a good touch, could be threatening. Mark by 8 is there, met by K-Dot. 5 seconds left here as they're fighting for that goal. We saw yesterday they had an amazing 0-second play as they put the ball middle. Mark by 8 below the crossbar. They level it at 0 seconds, and we see it again. BDS at 0 seconds are unbeatable.
Wow, they've done it again. What a heartbreak for Vitality. They need to win this series if they're going to stay alive for the major. But this is not looking good for them right now. BDS tie it on 0. Momentum swings right back in their favor, and now a clear ball from Mark by 8. Alpha's in the back foot. Mark's got another free touch. You don't want to let Mark shoot from there. That's exactly how he scored in overtime. Monkey Moon misses the center ball. Finally, a breather for Vitality.
Yeah, they seem to have come into this overtime with a little bit more zip in them. They've got energy now. I think they got woken up by that goal from Vitality as they're looking threatening. Monkey Moon drops it middle, Extra met by Fairy Peak. We're going to see Mark by 8 send it back in, and this ball has not left the Vitality half since overtime has started. Extra picks it up at the midline. Mark by 8 given a shot opportunity. Straight to Alpha, sent away, gets a demo on the way out, and we see BDS threatening over and over again. Considering in regulation time, we had very few opportunities from BDS. They probably tripled that just in that little stint there in overtime, as they are looking dangerous. A good shot here could be an opportunity. Alpha alone in defense. Thankfully for him, Mark by 8 puts it away. But there is no breathing room here for Vitality. The ball just keeps getting sent straight back in.
Yeah, this is so tough. Vitality want to keep their run in their hands. They don't want to need to rely on another team to send them to the major later on today. But we're right back into BDS, out pressuring them. And it's all about boost efficiency right now. Vitality having to use so much as they need to accelerate in every single play, whereas BDS are just moving around so much more fluidly. They're able to consistently get 50-50s and then be the quicker player out of that 50-50 and into the play. Oh, interesting position here for Mark by 8. He will actually take control of this quite well. Very nice deflection into the corner wall. Not a disaster for Vitality by any means, but it might be about to... be a disaster momentarily. Boost running out again, and there's the infield pass. Extra off the backboard. He's going to go
middle
again for himself. Alpha's able to block it. BDS not done. Here comes another one. Mark by 8 blocks the clear. It's going to stay in the danger area, but Extra unable to center.
Yeah, you see the goal line defense scramble there from Vitality. They did cover the angle in the end, but K-Dot was very close to missing that block. I think it had the shot not come off, then he wouldn't have been able to get a touch on that ball. It was one of those I'm blocking the shot, not hitting the ball moments. And those can be very dangerous if an informed BDS decision comes out. They could get outplayed, as I'm seeing a lot of opportunities here where if instead of shooting they dropped it middle, that Vitality team has got nobody covering the ball as it's leaving the defense.
Oh, that's a really nice fake challenge there by Extra. Fairy Peak thought he was diving in, went for the touch past him, and of course ends up conceding possession. Very composed as third man, Extra. And Monkey Moon likewise, but he's been pre-jumped by Kid up here, who's now saving his 9 boost for another day. Big block almost in, actually defended by the crossbar for BDS. And Alpha's got time for the bounce. He's going to send a shot high. BDS have got all angles covered here. Vitality know that. Nobody moving in to follow up on these touches. They are waiting for the countering touch from BDS. BDS, meanwhile, they're so much more ready to attack with Mark by 8 constantly turning aggressively in the midfield.
Just looks so much more confident from BDS. Every time that ball goes, they're at the very least matching it with a 50-50. And that's the key to being snappy, being efficient with your movement in the pitch. And that's something we can all describe BDS with. The way they manage their boost and their aerials are always the most efficient possible. You always see them at the very worst, meeting their opponent at the ball. As we see another long overtime forming here, last one. A little bit longer now, probably a whole game's length more. But we're seeing us venture into that 5-minute mark. As these teams, if this goes the distance, is going to be a very long series. So I'm sure BDS want to get this done as soon as possible. Vitality, however, like you said before, this is vital for Vitality, right? They need to win this to clinch the major. And I think we're all sitting here expecting a team like Vitality to make the major. K-Dot, Fairy Peak were present at the last LAN we had in Rocket League, in the finals, in fact. And we want to see them back performing on stage as we see BDS, their biggest rivals in the online era, trying to deny that opportunity.
Yeah, it's not over for Vitality if they lose, of course, but they don't want to need to rely on Semper later on. Of course, they're thinking bigger. They want to win these events. They're not here to just finish 5th place and qualify for majors. They want to win these regionals. Get up with a big opportunity, shoots low. He didn't catch Extra pre-jumping too high. That's a great save from Extra. Many a goalkeeper would have jumped too high to get back down to save that ball. Extra's not one of them.
Phenomenal save there from Extra. Meeting it downwards, like you said, it's a hard angle to match. You know, coming off those walls, you're kind of limited to where you can cover.
Oh,
the
my
pre-jump was
goodness.
fantastic. Ball just bouncing out to safety pretty much every time. Very rare we're seeing sustained pressure here from Vitality. The ball going straight back into the half most times, whereas BDS have managed to string multiple shots together. We're going to need to see a one and done from Vitality, I think, at this point, as BDS are able to remove that pressure straight away. As this could be at the bump! Mark by 8 into the crossbar. It's sent away. Monkey Moon meets the follow-up touch. BDS take control. Extra here, cleaning up after that Fairy Peak touch. A little bit of a whiff there from Alpha, very far off, and this could be an opportunity here. Extra with the flip reset. Fairy Peak comes in behind and cleans it up. A little bit of a flurry of goal-scoring opportunities here. Some fantastic saves from BDS to send it away, but it's not over yet. The play is very spread out now, very fast-moving ball, as we see the reaction speeds tested of every player. And I think this is the moment right now. This is the moment. We see Extra puts it on target. Fairy Peak almost sends it in himself. And they're just about keeping it out of the goal. This is incredibly close from both sides. I don't know at what point one of these is not going to get saved, but it is putting a lot of pressure on the reactions and the read of the defense on both sides.
Yeah, that touch from Fairy Peak was so cheeky, just deflecting the ball into his own post as it rolled past him. 6 minutes overtime. Vitality absolutely need this one, I feel, to come back. Extra is trying to end it, but Fairy Peak blocks the double tap off the backboard. He's not going to get back to the second ball, though. Monkey Moon takes it from him. Not a flip available for him at the moment, but he's got the demo. And another save by Fairy. Mark denied. Not for the first time in OT.
What a save from Fairy Peak. The saves coming out are going to be the difference maker right here. You see them over and over again, just when you think a team scored, and Fairy Peak comes sliding in and sends it away. The shooting quality does need to improve. We need to see that top corner being met a little bit more. Right now, there's a lot of low shots coming in. But either way, you think the breakdown play there from Monkey Moon with the bump on the follow-through would have been enough. But this is a shot here.
Oh!
K-Dot inside the post.
Extra
sends it home, and we see 3-0 in the series for BDS as a second lengthy overtime is won, with Extra being the final scorer.
That is so unfortunate for Vitality and K-Dot. The ball hitting off the inside of the post and coming right back out to Extra, who is perfectly positioned to attack the ball early, coming in as third man. BDS, of course, never afraid to commit the whole squad to an attack. Vitality, they could not stop Mark by 8. He kept finding opportunities. He kept finding these positions where he can move in and start to cause problems with his shooting. Of course, with Mark's legendary shooting ability, every time he does take a shot, he manages to get 1 or 2 defenders to jump, anticipating a top corner. And that just allows his teammates to come in and clean up behind him. And Vitality, remember, they conceded the 0-second goal. It's a while ago now, but Mark by 8, really a headache for them in this game.
Yeah, a while ago, you say that. That overtime passing 7 minutes, and then the last 2 games alone, we've had 15 minutes and 47 seconds of overtime. We all joke about that 1 game extra of overtime when it passes that 5 minutes and how that's another game's length, but we've had 3 games worth of overtimes and 3 games worth in the series, all of which going to BDS, and we'll see here whether they'll 4-0 sweep Vitality, taking away the guaranteed spot for Vitality, or whether Vitality can pull off the reverse sweep, the unthinkable reverse sweep against BDS as we go into game 4 here. I really can't see a world in which BDS get reverse swept here with the way they're playing right now. No,
it's just, it's unthinkable. BDS, I don't think they've ever been reverse swept in a best of 7 since the RLCS open circuit system started. They're getting early revenge here in Vitality after losing to them twice in a row in the championships. This is the first RLCS matchup they've had since then. They really want to take down Vitality, just for their own good as much as for the points total. What a mental victory this will be. Big chance early for BDS, marked by 8 once again. So quick to the ball as it gets sent down the middle of the field. Vitality they've done quite well in defense, but I think they've just given Mark a bit too much space. They've given him too many chances to hit the ball uncontested.
Yeah, I think that really comes through with the shot totals from these two teams. Over double the shots from BDS in that last game against Vitality. And yes, shots don't necessarily lead to goal scoring opportunities, but they do lead to a lot of pressure, especially with the way Vitality are defending very deep on the back wall, on their goal line, as you see all 3 behind the ball there. And they need to be having people meeting these passing opportunities, meeting these high aerial plays. There we go, a little bit more forward thinking there from KDOT. But I think they feel a little bit threatened by BDS. It's something that, as a coach, we always used to feel on our bad days. You know, BDS just feel like they beat you to everything. And so you start thinking, do I just not go? Is it not worth it? and I think that's what's going on with Vitality right now. They're getting beaten, so is it even worth going? But realistically, you have to just be ahead of the game, right? You have to be reading it that little bit better.
Well, yeah, I think you've basically summed up the thoughts of all the North American players who are watching EU Rocket League these days. You're thinking, do we even bother going to Sweden? And it's just such an inevitability that we're going to get clapped. Oh, marked by 8. Oh, he's actually managed to knock that clear, but Kadov's going to be there to put him in the bottom corner. 1-0 Vitality again, but they've got a long way to go in game 4.
Yeah, Alpha putting the shot wide, everything really threw off Mark by 8. He put it right at Mark, who was covering the net beautifully. And off the back of that, a little bit of a goal line scramble. And Vitality win a few challenges, leaving the ball there for KDOT to send home. And sometimes that's what you got to do, right? When you see someone covering the net well, as BDS often do, just hit the ball right at them. See what they can do, reactionary.
Oh!
And this could be an open net here for Monkey Moon.
Oh,
the lead taken away straight away. Alpha just sat too far forward as Fairy Peak gets hard dunked there.
Obviously, he's thinking that he needs to be close in case the ball 50-50s into the middle, because that's obviously what Fairy Peak's trying to do. Fairy Peak, a legendary 50-50 player, but even he can get the bad end of some of these, especially in 3v3, where it's so much more random which way the ball's going to go, and players really do take their 50s differently in pro play. And you probably got to think a bit more safely there, Alpha. Did he think he had coverage? Did he think someone else was rotating in behind him? Either way, Vitality's lead is gone. Just one more for BDS and a regulation hold to send them into the semi-finals. That was a double commit from Vitality, but they have recovered. BDS continue to attack.
That's something Vitality is so good at when they're playing well, is that challenge game, because they do play very tight together. They do often push up quite far, trusting their teammate won't get hard dunked. But the days where it's not happening, just like there for Fairy Peak, it completely throws off their strategy. They play tight together with full trust. It's a dangerous, unreliable way to play, where BDS are a lot more spread out, a lot more arcing in their movement, and it does allow them to cover for each other's mistakes when they do happen. Even though they are quite rare and very small, those mistakes are part of Rocket League. You know, we're all human. We all make mistakes. And a good rotation is one that has that plan in place when it can happen. As we see, solid counter-attack opportunity here for Monkey Moon. He's going to follow that one up. Flip reset. Fakes the flip reset. Allows Mark by 8 to send it low. And that completely threw off the Vitality defense. Normally, when you see Monkey Moon in the air going for a flip reset, you think it's going to be flung out.
Oh, my.
But Mark by 8 cleans it up. Oh, heartbreak for Vitality.
Yeah, you can't read that, and that's really why you need to go in those positions. 2 defenders at the back for Vitality, neither one of them attacking the ball, neither one of them just throwing themselves at it and forcing a play earlier, and BDS will always just take those opportunities. They're always happy to commit that second man, especially if his name ends in the number 8. 2-1 lead for BDS and looking like a 4-0 lead. Vitality fans about to become Semper fans if this continues.
Yeah, all the faith will be with Semper to get that win over EG. I think as the day started, I predicted the two teams to make the full major to be Vitality and Semper. I did not expect it to be in the hands of Semper. I thought Vitality had the ability to step up in this moment, but I was proven wrong again, as I'm sure many people would call me silly to vote against BDS. I think that's a little bit of high pressure bias there from the RLCS X finals, which was, like we said earlier, the last time that these guys played, despite having 3 regionals, we haven't seen these guys play just because of the variation in Vitality's performance has meant they've just avoided them, right? They've
bracket draw as well.
In the final.
Yeah, and Dignitas is always running into BDS in the semis. Not going to happen this time. They're on opposite sides of the bracket. Here we go, 25 seconds left. Vitality, I've got to do it now if they're going to continue in this series, if they're going to continue in regional number 3, if they're going to just guarantee that they're still in the run for the major. 15 seconds now to go. BDS quite happy to sit on the 1-goal lead.
Yeah, BDS so hard to score on when they know they don't need to push for a goal, but this is looking dangerous. Vitality got BDS on the back foot here. Low boost for BDS. If Vitality can keep this pressure on, as we just see BDS all cleaning up and getting their boost. They're also high on boost. Monkey Moon and Extra will be pushing Vitality into the heart of Semper fans as they hope Semper can beat EG as their final chance. But BDS, the 4-0 sweep over Vitality.
Yeah, BDS will await the winner of that EG Semper matchup that is finishing off today's show. And that'll be the last semi-final tomorrow. That's the end of Vitality's run. They need Semper to win against EG to stay in the top 5. It's quite simple now. Usually these, or sometimes these tiebreaker scenarios can be quite complicated, but it is just EG and Vitality fighting for that last spot now. Semper are in no matter what. Semper are ahead of Vitality, and all the other teams are out of the competition. If EG beats Semper, it's EG and Semper going to Sweden. If Semper beat EG, it's Semper and Vitality. So lots of Semper fans, I'm sure, in the French community now.
Yeah, for sure. And what a game there. And I think the big moment, the big turning point was that 0-second goal from BDS.
Yeah.
So important for taking the momentum out of Vitality because it gave them that long overtime, which they did end up winning. Vitality just couldn't quite find enough goals there to take the series. And it's that simple in Rocket League. You can't rely on mistakes, especially with BDS, because they don't give space through mistakes. They don't give space through double commits often. We saw that one big mistake at the beginning of the series, Monkey Moon faking out Extra. And outside of that, they always had someone covering behind them, where Vitality making too many double commits, triple commits, fighting themselves, giving up too much space as well.
Well, that's it for Vitality's Regional 3 run. It's not it for the Major. That's the big story now, but we're not going to find out just yet. Tune in after the break to see EG against Semper.